Ay, 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 ay. Achenu kol bet Israel. Achenu kol bet Israel. Anetunim betzara. בצרה ובשביה העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה המקום ירחם ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה משעבוד לגאולה שתה בגלה ובזמן קריב איי 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 It's so good to be together this evening. Now we had scheduled this community meeting for a long time. It's been in the calendar, but I feel very grateful that we are together today. It has been especially difficult weekend with the war, Israel and Iran. So many of us spend every minute awake checking with our families and dear friends and anxious and nervous of not knowing what will come. It felt also close yesterday to see the hatred that we are as Jews experiencing with the attack, the vandalism that happened at the butchery on Saturday night. Some of us were there yesterday to support. I'm just feeling very, very broken and nervous and anxious. And this is why I feel so much gratitude to be with all of you. On Shabbat, I heard a sermon that I didn't like. I won't quote who gave the sermon, but this person, she was a guest speaker. So the person that spoke where I was talked about, in New York, not here. She's in New York, in New York City. She spoke about, I actually thought about you, Debbie Korn, because it's something you taught me. This person spoke about the mitzvah of not being afraid, al tira, al tiri. And she spent the whole sermon talking about how we have to not be afraid and to have faith. And I was just crying listening to her because I am actually afraid. And because I feel all kind of feelings, and those are normal feelings to feel. And what Debbie Korn taught me is to make a differentiation between being afraid or letting our fear guide our choices. So I want to rephrase this Dvar Torah and say, there is room for fear and anger and sadness and brokenness. How do we make sure that those feelings are not the ones that guide everything we do, but we let actually faith and love and community be that what guide us? So this is why I feel so incredibly grateful that we're all here today, because I wanted to be with all of you this weekend, and we have a community meeting to do that. So just a reminder that we're here for one another, that we're here to be in community, to be compassionate and loving to one another, to build a community that is resilient and can be together in moments of fear, sadness, anger, doubt, and that we can hold faith and hope together, because together we can do much more. So I just wanted to start with that. And with that, I'm going to say that we're so glad you joined us in person and on Zoom. For the people on Zoom, we are unable to monitor or respond in time, but we are recording, so you can write whatever you want us to know on the chat. And after that, we will read the questions, comments in the chat, and if there's a specific question that you have, please, and it's directed to a specific person that is speaking, right? And Benjamin will make sure that that person gets your question and you get your answer. So we wanted to make this hybrid, but also we want to make it easier for us to have conversations, and it's very hard for us to do both. So, and we see you, the TV is really in front, so if you feel like turning on your camera and waving, we would love that. If not, that's okay. But we see you, you are really, really close to us. And just a reminder that things that are not on a microphone, this is especially for the speakers of the night, cannot be heard on Zoom. So everything needs to be, and we have several microphones that will pass. And with that, I'm going to pass it, and I'm going to start to cry, to the still co-president, Jen Klein.
No. It is nice to see everybody. I was also away this weekend, so it's really nice to come home to this home. So tonight's going to be about gratitude and celebrating all of the people who make this incredible community function. I just want to give you a sense of the agenda for the night so you know what's coming, you know how long it's going to take. We'll be in here for about an hour, and then we will have lots of schmoozing and wine and food that's coming. We're going to hear first from our incredible executive director, Benjamin Marin, who is going to provide an overview of TBZ, of the TBZ year by the numbers. You're going to hear from several of our committee chairs about the successes and programs and upcoming plans and growth of their committees. Given the state of the world, we're actually going to do a brief security update and talk a little bit about security planning going forward. And then we're going to end on a high note and hear from our incredible clergy about what they have been up to and what's coming. And then I'm going to turn the meeting over to Larry for some goodbyes and thank yous to our outgoing board member and then board members. And then we are going to have elections. At the end of the meeting, we're going to leave some time for questions. But the nice thing about doing the schmooze at the end is that if we don't get to all of your questions here in this circle, we're happy any board member, any staff member is going to be around to answer questions. So before we do any of the updates and that, I want to take a moment, probably my last moment as president, to thank this year's board. It's been truly an honor and a privilege to be the co-president of this board and to help lead this community. I have learned about myself, I have learned new skills, I've learned about this community, and it was a wild ride, but it's really been so much more than I could have ever imagined. So I want to say thank you to the community, and I really want to say thank you to the board. Not all of the board could be here tonight. There's some family issues, but so all the board members who are here, please stand. And you want to do it? Yeah. We just have little, no, you can do it. Just little tiny tokens of gratitude. But yeah, just little tokens. Yeah. You can throw them at me later. They're hard. Don't throw those. But really, thank you guys all. It's an incredible labor of love to do all the work that you do. So thank you. Okay, so we are going to start first with Benjamin with an update of TBZ this year. And you want to take that, and I can hand these out.
You want to go half and half?
Sure.
Pass them out. Hello. Wait, I need one. Thank you. Making their way around the room right now is TBZ by the numbers for the year. I like to have a little fun with these every year so that it's not just an update on the budget or finances or something like that. So some of the highlights this year, we had 145 TBZers at the community retreat. We had 47 students. There we go. Okay. We welcomed 6 new Jews to the community. We had approximately a zillion Tikkun Olam projects, rallies, and calls to action. We had 49 Nishmat Chaim morning sits. We baked approximately 1,580 Hamantashen. We welcomed 34 new member households. Are you any new members? Hands up, hands up. Hello, new members. Welcome. Welcome, new members. If you look in the bottom right corner, you can see how our membership has grown over the years in that chart. We are just shy of 500 households. Other highlights, we have 8 new air conditioning units, including 4 in the sanctuary. And I think the final one, because someone mentioned throwing the gifts of gratitude, we had 26 pounds of candy thrown this year. More next year. And there will be more next year because we have many more bar mitzvahs next year. Looking at the bottom 2 pie charts, those are our income and expenses for the past year. I'm really not going to go into the specifics of them, but just so you know, our membership dues represent roughly 48% of our revenue, of our income, which is the largest part of our revenue, as you can see. And our expenses, it's mostly clergy and staff. The staff also includes all the Beis Rabban teachers, all the bar mitzvah tutors, April, who no one ever sees but does our communications, the kids who sit at the back on Shabbos and do Zoom. So it's not just those of us up here, it's really a much larger staff as well. That is our largest expense. And I'm happy to answer questions if there are any about our numbers. Oh, and then I can also say that our overall budget, which I meant to mention, is $1.6 million. So that's where we are. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer. Yes, Deborah? Yeah, but we have to do a microphone.
What is sustainable donors? What does that represent?
I'll walk around. I think Sam will cover that in his development. You can report, or I can give like a quick...
now it's working, so now we can have... Do you want to do it now or after?
Yeah, I can do it now. Sustainable donors are donors who have made multi-year pledges to TBZ.
I'm not real good with numbers, but are you saying the total expenses are 1.6 million? And 60% of that's clergy and staff, which is about $1 million?
So 1.6 will be our budget for this coming year that starts July 1st. For the year that we're just ending right now, the budget was 1.52, I believe, million. Yes. So it's salaries, it's benefits, it's payroll taxes, it's other benefits, it's all of that that goes in. Any other number-related questions? Great. Find me after if you think of anything.
And I am going to go backwards for a minute. First, Benjamin oversees our administration and finance. And so I want to say a particular thank you. We'll do them more in depth to David Nabin, who has been our our finance chair for the last few years and has done an incredible job. And Steve Lewis, who will be taking over. So thank you for that. And we are grateful for all of your work. My trusty co-president reminded me that we were going to go around and just say names so that everybody here knows each other, which I should have done at the beginning, and this is why we work as a team. So I'm just going to pass the microphone.
This one is about to die. Oh, no, it's good.
Okay, so just very briefly, so that we're not here till 10 o'clock tonight, just your name. Nice to see everybody.
Larry Kraus.
Cindy Jo Gross.
Karen Lang,
Boris Sparsky.
Emma Smith-Zabarsky,
Simone Rissam. Myron Miller.
Felicia Kaiser,
David Vitale Wolf.
Steve Lewis.
David Neiman.
Jesse Stickled Sarah,
Fiona Epstein,
Rachel Goodman.
Jenny Seacole,
Rowan Maddox.
Sam Seacole.
Rachie Lewis,
Howard Sachs.
Rhonda Sachs, Penny Roberts,
Judith Cates,
Renee Rudnick,
Judy Shuckman,
Alan Elstein.
Debbie Korn.
Raquel Rosie Kessel,
Sarah Smoliver, Sarah Fendrick,
Preston Neal.
Martha Gray,
Susan Farber,
Tolly Walters,
Alan Weisner.
Sheila Reinhartz. Danielle Klein.
David Sharonson.
Nina Robinson.
Samuel Mendoza de Freiman.
Lotus Goldberg.
Rebecca Blue Wolf,
Jack Daniels.
Jane Daniels,
Debbie Gardner, Deb Stang, Susan Bookbinder, Carol Kamen,
Lenny Marcus.
Wendy Kaplan.
Rav Tiferet Barenbaum,
Rav Leah Carno.
Benjamin Marin.
Rav Claudia Krayman.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. All right, before we turn this over to Sam for a moment, can everyone on the development committee please stand? Just. We also have Jordan Moranis and Mark Barnett and Sue Khan, who couldn't be here tonight. But thank you to all of you for all, and Richard Bennett, thank you, for all of your incredible work. Sam.
Oh my God, my pocket will get so heavy with gratitude. Hi, everyone. To give your development report, as a community, we've raised $100,000, just over, and just short of our goal so far this year. Our fiscal year ends in about 14 days on June 30th. That includes 19 multi-year pledges. Those are the sustainable donors, sustainable category. That represents a total of 916 donations from about 372 folks. That includes members and non-members, as we get donations from non-members as well, especially through our spring fundraiser. The average donation was about $674, and the median was $108. The donations ranged from $50,000 to $2. And every one of those, I want to say, is important and vital to keep the lights on at TBZ and to make sure that our clergy and staff are supported in every way they can be. Thank you. If you have not made your gift yet, TBZ, the fiscal year, like I said, is still in front of us. And if you have made your gift, thank you. If you have not made your gift and would like to stretch a little bit more, please do so. We are still yet to reach our goal, and we have 14 days to do so. So Shul Cloud is right there, and we're available for you if you want to talk to any of us on the development committee, if you want to ask me any questions about making a multi-year pledge or about making a donation or making an additional donation, please feel free to come to me or to anyone else on the development committee. Our goal is, yeah, so the question is how short are we? We're short $70,000. Our goal is 676, which represents more than double what our goal was 2 years ago. And so that we are at $600,000 2 years into this development strategy is a feat, and I'm very proud of our community for that. I'm also very pleased to share that Jordan Moranis will be leading the development committee as chair in the next phase of this strategy, and we'll be hoping to build as a community together towards our goal of becoming a more sustainable shul, one that can rely on a budget to ensure that we as a community continue to thrive and continue to build in the vision that we have. I also want to share gratitude and take an opportunity to do that to the community members that I've been so lucky to work with in the last few years. Just deep gratitude for your wisdom and your passion and your dedication. You've taught me so much, and I'm very, very grateful to each of you. And finally, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the inaugural annual report that you'll receive in July. It's a report that we are bringing together to help acknowledge every single donor in our community and to give you yearly update on our strategy and on our fundraising so that you feel like you are informed and are recognized for your financial contribution to this community. And so you'll receive that in July with a full report of the fiscal year. And with that, as always, if you want to give a little money, I'm here to talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Will all the members of the membership committee please stand? Woo! And I'm going to ask Rebecca Blue Wolf, our fearless membership guide, to talk to you.
So a very important decision was made about the membership committee this year. It's not capitalized. So you can just, if you're picturing it in your head, it's lowercase m. That was a conclusion we reached unanimously. So you're probably aware, and Benjamin's beautiful graphic really illustrates it, we have so many new members at TBZ. And so we have always been looking for ways to welcome members, and we've had different iterations, large and small, of the membership committee. But right now, I'm the proud chair of sort of a reformatted, highly organized, board-approved membership committee. And so I thought I would just tell you a little bit about what that looks like. Per our bylaws and as part of our board work, we were kind of relooking at our committees and thinking about how we wanted to reorganize. And we also created a new mission statement. And I'll just read you the first sentence because I think it captures the work, which is that the membership committee seeks to welcome new members, help them build relationships, and find their place within our community. And as we've talked about our work, we've really realized that people are ready to dig into that at all different times in relationship to whenever they officially became a member. And so whether you first started paying dues at TBZ 10 years ago or 10 months ago, the membership committee we are really working to make sure everyone finds their place and makes connections here. And so I'm doing this work in partnership with Rev Leah, which has been fabulous. And that's another reason that we're like more formal and organized and off the ground. With Rev Leah back from parental leave, we're really like digging in and having all our spreadsheets, that kind of thing. And Emma and Rini stood earlier. We have other members who are not here this evening. Just wanted to mention them in case you know them. Meredith Moss, Talia Krakauer, Jordan Namero, and Rob Kane. And I'm just curious, has anyone here ever received a welcome phone call as a new member to TBC? A few people? Okay, great. That is one of our practices. Has anyone here ever been to an event that was special for new members? Yeah, okay, good. So those are some of the things that we do. So we have, Rini Rudnick is like our director of making new membership calls, and she's been training our new callers. And then we've also been hosting twice-a-year gatherings for new members. We spend time when we meet kind of dreaming up what would be some cool new things that we've never done before that seem like they would be great. And then sometimes we also remember things that we did before, often before COVID, and we're like, oh, maybe we should try that again. And then we're trying to keep track and really document our work so that it'll be easy to pass on and make it more sustainable. So that is the membership committee. When I was on my first committee, Debbie Korn was my chair, and I remember she gave me a very delicious chocolate. And it's not chocolate, but I have a little gift for Rini and Emma since you're here tonight. I'll give it to you afterwards. It's a bookmark, and you can put a picture of someone you love in the bookmark. So anyways, please tell me everything you want to talk about regarding membership, and I would love to engage with you. My name again is Rebecca. Who's next?
We should never let the teacher go at the beginning. She's so good. Thank you, Rebecca. Will the members of the Tikkun Olam Steering Committee please stand? Woo! All right. As we heard, you had a zillion programs this year, so thank you. Susan, please.
Hi, everybody. We did have an enormous number of programs and a huge number of people participating, and which is fantastic because we get work done and it also builds our community. So come next year, join us. I just want to tell you some of the things that we did this year. We're divided up into different teams, and the Tikkun Olam Steering Committee is like the umbrella for the team. We meet together, but the different teams do the work. So we have an abortion access group, and they've done, among other things, 6 weeks, twice weekly. They stood out in front of Planned Parenthood, which is, you know what that is. They've done 2 what they call pack and learn events, which it was writing notebooks and filling 100 TLC bags for people that come in for an abortion. And these are all with community donated gifts and supplies. And it's for a Brookline clinic. And then there's also aspects of speakers and community building at these events. We have a gun violence / Lewis P. Brown Mother's Day Walk for Peace group. I would say that the main project this year was the Lewis P. Brown Mother's Day Walk, and this year we, TBZ, raised $10,000, which is huge. It went up to 15, 16, it went up. It keeps going up. We were the best. We were the best in the whole place, right. Wow, it went up. That's fantastic. And that's for the Peace Institute, which is, I hope you've all read, I hope you read the 3 million emails that we send all the time. I'm sure you don't. But this is, the Lewis P. Brown Institute was started by a mother of a child that was murdered. And it's for peace in general, but supporting other families that have gone through this. Partakers. Partakers is fairly new for our community. It's a program that, there's a program within, excuse me. It's for incarcerated individuals or people who are just coming out of incarceration, who are getting a college education for free. And Partakers, people like you, volunteer to be a mentor in a small group of people for one person. There's a number of TBZ volunteers that you might want to talk to see if you'd like to do it next year. They have a training, of course. Yeah, you can put your hands up, these guys. And the volunteers say that they get as much, if not more, out of this than the people. It's a very hugely important and very emotional experience. NBARC. NBARC is the Newton Brookline Asylum and Refugee Committee, coalition of 6 churches and synagogues in Newton, Brookline. TBZ, because we have such fabulous leadership, Fiona over there, and Jenny Burrs, and TBZ volunteers are amazing and plentiful. So TBZ is now sort of the lead organization for NBARC. And they help refugee families in job searches, learning English, getting rides to appointments, etc. They recently held an ICE training at TBZ. So more are always needed. GBIO is also under us, Greater Boston Interfaith Organization, and does work legislatively for getting money for public housing most recently. And the other new thing that I just want to add is that we're getting new leadership next year, and it will be Jesse over there. Rachel and I will be stepping down, and please come to anybody if you have any ideas or you want to join up in this work. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And thank you for your tremendous leadership and growth of the Tikkun Olam Steering Committee. It's been amazing. All right, if you are on the Education and Programming Committee, please stand up. And I'm going to ask Felicia, who is our board member who is chairing this committee, to give us a little update.
Yes, happy to do so. Well, this is exciting. This is a new committee at TBZ. The Education and Programming Committee was just formed, and with incredible leadership from Rav Claudia and Rav Tiferet, we have created this new group. And the aim of the group, we have a fantastic group. Susan is here representing our amazing group. There's 7 of us, I believe, on the committee, including myself. And we've only had a couple of meetings, but they've been really fruitful, and we're making a lot of progress in terms of crystallizing what our aim is as a group. And really what we want to do is help focus the programming that TBZ offers in order to ensure, there's just this abundance. Abundance is this word that we keep coming back to in our committee, which is just such a blessing, right? We want to make sure that all of the programming, some of which is captured here on this sheet, like a lot of it, this includes our committee. So Beit Rabban, for example, is the largest of the programming that we're thinking about, right? And then, of course, all of the even everything from like the Friday morning Nishmat Hayim to the Boker Tov to the men's group. I mean, all of these really are part of what we offer here at TBZ. So what we're trying to do is make sure that every single member first, feels connected and feels like they have a place within the programming that we offer, and that what we're offering is really speaking to people and really helping to advance people's connection to the community, and people's learning, and people's spiritual engagement. And so that's what we're trying to do. We probably will do some fact-finding. Maybe you can look forward to that up in the upcoming high holidays when we have everybody here in our building. We're gonna, as a committee, think about some creative ways to gather some information from the community about what really does engage people. What are people really excited about? You know, we get these wonderful booklets twice a year, which are just filled, and we wanna know more about what is gonna really move people to fully participate. I think that's all for now. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Felicia. All right, if you are on, I'm going to get it wrong, what? The Synagogue Practices Committee, please stand. You don't get another one. And I'm going to ask Rachie to give us our update. Rachie has just this year taken on the tremendous job of spearheading this committee, so thank you.
It's so nice to be here, and glad to represent our strong committee with Preston and Rowan and Alan and Larry, who are all here. We're a strong team of 11 folks, and we've spent the past many months splitting up into 2 sub-teams. And just to back up a little bit, the Synagogue Practices Committee had existed in many forms in many different past generations of TBZ and had been dormant for a while since COVID, and we've reformulated in the past year to take on some of the big questions and challenges that we've had when it comes to specifically the high holidays. And so the 2 different subcommittees that we've had have worked on identifying a new machzor so that the machzors that we use can stay together. We love dearly the really wonderful, unique machzor that we've had at TBZ for years that really like encapsulates the special sauce of our community, and we're growing and we need more, and we need it to be a little bit easier to use. And so one of our subcommittees identified, after looking into 4 different machzorim, Machzor Lev Shalem, which is really beautiful, and we are going to do some study together in Elul before the high holidays with Rabbi Lenny Gordon, who is a dear member of TBZ and also was on the committee that met for 12 years to put Machzor Lev Shalem together. So we know it's a big change, and the hope is that we are offering our community a way in to really learn about how this text came to be, the thought that went into it, the decisions that feel really reflective of our community. So we're all going to have an opportunity to really be a part of that process together. There are also a few copies left that folks can buy if they want their own copy of, that we got at a discounted price because of Rev. Claudia's Rabbinical Assembly membership, which really has done us well. 40% discount. Yeah, so of course, there are going to be enough for everybody here to be able to use the machzor for services, but if you wanted to buy your own, there are 24 copies left that you can contact Benjamin about. And we are also giving out copies of the old, potentially many copies of the old machzor, so that folks can really take that special artifact from our community back and into your
Rev.
homes.
Claudia would like you to know you can take as many as you want out of the building.
From all the services, because there are many different ones. So that's the... Oh, the rainbow. That's great. Yeah.
It's a collector's,
Yeah.
it's a collector's item.
So that's the machzor, and we're excited about that. And then another committee that several of us were on was working to figure out if we could find a space that might suit us better for specifically Yom Kippur, so that we could have one service, so that when everybody, as Felicia mentioned, comes on high holidays, we could actually all fit in one service. We're not able to do that because it's a very, very difficult thing to find one place that could hold us, but we are working on identifying ways inside of this building to make sure that we all fit, to make sure that we are all safe and still have a really meaningful experience. And that is where all of us come in. There's going to be a lot of education and information sharing over the next bunch of months to make sure that we all are really clear about what needs to happen in order for High Holidays to go well. There are going to be some new seating arrangements. We're going to better use our extra space up there. And the hope is that we also build a really wonderful cadre of ushers who can help streamline and make sure that the flow throughout the High Holidays is smooth and safe and good for everybody. And so this is a real pitch that anyone who wants to get involved on our committee, you're welcome, but really as ushers over High Holidays, we're gonna work on trainings and making sure that we're all really up to speed on the roles that we can play to make High Holidays be what they always have been and will continue to be even as we continue to grow. And the last thing I'll say for High Holidays that we all have a role to play in is that we really need to make sure that everybody knows that you need a ticket to get in. There's no, it's very Hamish here. People know that they can come at the last minute if they don't have a ticket. That is not how it's gonna go this year. We really, really need to make sure for so many reasons that everyone is accounted for, that everybody has a ticket. So please spread the good news of that, and we'll make sure that everybody has the information that they need in order to get into the building and have a really meaningful experience. And who knows what next year will bring for the High Holidays Committee, but feel free to talk to me and you could be a part of figuring it out.
Thank you, Reggie. I want to add about the ticket that, of course, in your membership, your tickets are included, and you know that, but our continues to be our culture, our policy that no one will be denied membership or tickets because of financial reasons. So it's hard because the word ticket sounds like you need to, it's about finances. So this is not about that. Of course, we need the finances to support, but when we mean tickets, it means we really need to know people cannot just walk and bring their 4 cousins without tickets to. And I know it sounds funny, but it is the norm at TBZ. So we need to change that norm from now on, and we will need all of you to help us. Thank you, Reggie. You're amazing. Thank you, the whole committee, for super hard work.
All right, we're going to take a brief interlude from all of these beautiful, wonderful things that are happening. And we're going to ask Lenny Marcus, who is really our guide and our guru around security issues here at TBZ. Just so people know, there is a security committee, and Lenny will talk a little bit more about it. We do meet regularly. As things go up and down, we meet more frequently. But given the state of the world, given the things going on in our neighborhood, we have been meeting, and so I'm going to let Lenny give us a little bit of an update about where we are.
Thank you. So we're all aware that there were incidents in Pennsylvania, in Washington, and Boulder, and the Security Committee is constantly monitoring what's going on. When something like these things happen, we become on the higher alert. There's several things that we do. The most important thing is we want everyone in the community to feel safe when they're here. We don't want anyone to hesitate about coming to shul if things are going on. And we're doing any and everything we can to remain vigilant and then to adjust what we're doing given the security situation. So we remain vigilant by having close contacts. Benjamin is in touch with the secure community systems so that if there's anything going on in the Jewish community, we're in touch with the Boston Regional Intelligence Center. They're looking if there are any threats. The Brookline police have been great. When we feel that we need to up the level of security, there are actions that we take in order. And given all that's gone on recently, we have made some changes. We do have an armed security guard outside when there are major events going on. You probably saw the person when you came in. Before these recent set of events, they were having a concealed weapon. We don't want people to feel intimidated. We changed that, so now it's an open weapon. It can be seen. The other thing that we're doing, and here we're going to ask for volunteers, is include 2 people from TBZ. I like to call them the eyes-on people. So these 2 people are just eyes-on people that are coming in. If somebody looks suspicious, the job is to let the security person know. If somebody looks eccentric, is to say, don't worry, they're fine coming in. And so the primary function that you do if you're eyes on is you're just greeting people as they're coming in and just checking that everybody looks on the up and up. And that's wonderful. And it's also an opportunity just to look at what's going on, eyes on, to see if there's something that looks out of the ordinary, and then let the security guard know. As the situation changes, we're going to change as well, and we appreciate the support from everyone in the community. If you would like to join this cadre of people that are doing eyes on, let Benjamin know. We're taking names. And a week from Wednesday, so that's June 25th at 7 o'clock on Zoom, I'm going to do an hour-and-a-half training. What are you looking for in terms of someone suspicious? What do you do if you see someone suspicious, and make it just part of our routine. Finally, it's just good to know for all of us all the time to be vigilant, to keep your eyes open, to pay attention to what's going on, and if there's news that comes out that we should be responding to make sure that you respond to it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Lenny. All right. We are going to do the last bit of this section before we do thank yous and elections, and I'm going to turn it over to our incredible clergy. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the board and Rev. Claudia signed a new 5-year contract last month. So we are very excited and wanted to make sure that we knew that we still had her before she gives her updates.
I'm still here, not going anywhere. It's great to be with you. So I'll just, a lot of the things that have been shared is part of what the part of work I've been doing, and I will have mostly Rav Leah and Rav Tiferet share about some of the work. I want to say that it was with all the difficulties around in the world, etc. From my perspective as the TBZ community, it was an incredibly successful year, and I feel incredibly proud to be part of this community and very excited for the years to come. I think one of the most exciting things for me this past year was to have a full team of 3 rabbis together with Rav Leah, Rav Tiferet, and myself working together. It's been just such a joy. Just to give you an example, today, before this, we spent the whole day on a Rav's retreat at Rav Leah's house. I got to hold Nur most of the day, where we plan for next year and vision for the future, and it's just amazing. It's just I don't take for granted that I have such amazing partners in this work with Rav Leah and Rav Tiferet. So that's the first thing I want to say. I want to say a lot of my work is working with all those of you who have shared a lot of leadership development, helping these committees to grow and become what they are. A lot of work with the development committee, a lot of work with the board, a lot of work with the board. And that has been really also a great year of a lot of changes around leadership. I take a lot of pride in the fact that this year we engaged many more leaders than we have had in the past. Here I want to thank, he's not here, but Len Fishman, thank you. Len Fishman, who is in our executive committee and the governance committee, and part of his job is really helping us figure out how we turn the bylaws that we renewed a year ago into reality, and working with him and Benjamin and myself, we have really brought so many new people to be leaders and committee members. As you heard from Raichi, we are really in the midst of preparing for the high holidays. Like, I spent last week going through the Machzor and putting the new pages into the order of service. So I'm like totally, I finished Kol Nidre on Sunday morning, so I'm almost done. In 2 days, I'll be with Neila, and that's it, I'm done. And tomorrow, you are receiving your first High Holidays email. It's coming out with a lot of the details that Rachel just shared. So we are really excited about that. As you saw, hopefully you saw, that notes, I have them in my phone, we sent an email a month ago with staffing updates, and we had a great year with our rabbinic intern, Rabbi Akiva Nelson, and Rabbi Rafi Ellenson will be here this Shabbat as his last Shabbat before he moves to Los Gatos, California, and we decided this coming year not to have a rabbinic intern. I got permission from the dean of the rabbinical school. I called him. I did call him, and I asked. Part of that decision was based on the rethinking how, because this is new to us, that we have another clergy full-time, to really think about our roles, and it felt that this coming year we really needed to settle more into our roles with Rav Leah as Rabbi of Community Engagement and Rav Tiferet as Rabbi for programming, education and programming, to really rethink what our needs are, and that by having, those of you who know, when you have an intern, there's a lot of layers of mentoring and work that are beyond just what the needs of the community, but the needs of the intern. So we're taking a pause. This doesn't mean that this is forever, to reassess what our needs are. And we have still an incredibly strong davening team, and Noah continues to be with us as our prayer musical leader. And Yoni continues to be our artist in residence, and we'll continue to have Zimbra and Naria and all the wonderful music. We are in conversations with someone about drumming on the High Holidays, and don't worry, music will continue to be central. We are not welcoming because she has been here for a year, but we are upping up a little bit a new person in our team. Rav Sarah Blumenthal has been part of our Beit Rabban team already for a year, teaching our sixth graders, which are called Mechina, and who I think it's up here, or was up here teaching Nora Trop for her bat mitzvah. So she will be taking she'll continue to be doing that and working with our bat mitzvah students. She will taking some of the responsibilities that our rabbinic intern will take with students, like writing Divrei Torah with students and other stuff like that. So it's not that, and Rav Leah also will take some of those responsibilities that a rabbinic intern was taking. So we're very, very excited to do that. And the last thing I would say before passing it to Rav Leah and Rav Tiferet is just my gratitude to all the staff of TBZ. We have a really wonderful staff. Our email group of our staff is Dream Team. That's how we email each other. And our Dream Team includes Benjamin Maran, who is our executive director. I want to do it. And Rav Leah and Rav Tiferet. And, oh, Lenny, you didn't get one. Here, please. Security, you should get more than one. I should give you like 20 or something. And they are not here, but I will bring them these gratitudes. Rochelle Kellman, who is my assistant, and takes care of everything, not just connected to my schedule, my calendar, which is impossible, but also Shabbat preparing stuff, B'nai Mitzvah, Boker Tov, Eat, Pray, and Learn, like every detail behind. Sarah Ott, our office manager, who also does a million things, and it's amazing and really supportive of our group. Sandy Garcia, our custodian. Mayra Samayoa, our accommodator, which you get to know. and April Robs, who is our communications person, who has been working with TBZ for over 23 or 5 years. I've met her once, but she has been at TBZ before me, and she's just amazing because she does everything that is connected to our graphic and communication. So it's really amazing to have such a wonderful team. So lastly, I want to say that I am going to be supposedly, God willing, away a lot this summer. I am supposed to leave to Israel in 2 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to Israel. I don't know if my program is going to happen. I have a meeting on Wednesday to know that. But I am supposedly away all the month of July on my program at the Hartman Institute in Jerusalem. Then I come back for a couple of weeks, and I'll be mostly focusing on high holiday preparation. Already in my schedule, a meeting with Rachie for August. And after that, I'm taking 3 more weeks of vacation at the end of August. This is to say that in my plan right now is to be away most of the summer besides 2 weeks. I'm very grateful to the board and the team that this is possible for me, and very necessary right now. I'm grateful to Rav Leah and Noah, who will be leading services, and Rav Tiferet and Benjamin and everyone that is going to be holding the fort. So please call the office if you need anything, or contact anyone when I'm not here. If I don't go to Israel, I don't know where I'll go, but I'll go somewhere. And with that, I'm going to pass it to, who goes first? Rav Tiferet.
Hello. So I always say, and it's still very true, that it continues to be an honor to serve this community. As we were going around and you were all saying your names, it was like, I love that person, I love that person, oh my God, I love that person. So it is really great. So I just want to share a little bit with you about the year that we're closing out. And all of the things that my hands are in. So we ended a wonderfully successful year of Beit Rabban with 47 learners this year, and yes, and 1 graduate. Because our years are going up and down. It's very interesting. Just like we had only, 4 bar mitzvah this year, next year we have like 15 or 16. So yeah, it goes up and down. Some highlights from this year. We integrated the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute's Mother's Day Walk for Peace into our Pesach Seder. And we created an opportunity, thanks Jane, for all of the Beit Rabban learners to participate in art projects mostly done by our Mechina, our 6th and 7th grade learners, but everyone had a chance to contribute. And actually they were out in the community room, so everyone who wanted to had a chance to contribute. And then they were displayed at the walk. And then students came to see their work, and it was really, really wonderful. Another highlight was ending the year with, again, Mechina, our 6th and 7th grade learners, having a bake sale, raising money for the Abba Yudaya Jews of Uganda Bat Mitzvah Fund. And that was supported by the tzedakah that the learners had been collecting all year, like every week at Beit Rabban, and also supplemented from what they brought from home that day. So that was really wonderful, and it was an exciting year. We continue to have success from integrating the bar mitzvah preparation through trope and ceremony skills into Beit Rabban, because, before we did that, the learners were like, why am I doing this? Like, what does this have to do with my ceremony? So it's like, oh, let's meet them where they are. And so every week at Beit Rabban, they know exactly how this is related to what they're going to be doing. And so that's been really great. And as Rev Claudia said, having Rev Sarah on the team has been just so integral to making that successful. And I'm already preparing for our next year, securing our amazing teachers and integral parts of our curriculum, such as our new partnership with Facing History as a Jewish education partner school, which is really exciting and timely. We offered a mix of new and ongoing programming this year, with Eat, Pray, and Learn and Boker Tov being incredibly popular and nourishing for people. The community retreat was a huge success. As you saw with our number of participants, we were at capacity. We had a waiting list. It was amazing. And our women's retreat continues to be a nourishing offering. And I am thrilled to say that this year, was it last week? I think it was last week, we hosted the first Greater Boston Men's Day men's retreat with over 30 participants. It was really wonderful. As looking around, as many of you know, our Shabbat morning Kiddush talks are packing the meeting room, as are our Bar Mitzvah family group meetings with, over 15 families participating. So that's like, 3 at most people per family. And we're currently in the middle of an adult Bar Mitzvah cohort, which is wonderful. Yes, looking forward to celebrating that in February. And Rabbi Sam Segal continues to support learners in all of their Hebrew learning needs, as does Ifat. I saw Ifat on Zoom, who's supporting us in learning Hebrew so that we can find new ways to explore Torah and new ways to connect through Hebrew prayer. And also just, with each other in Hebrew, making everything sababa. And this is all just a sampling of all of the amazing programming that's happened over the year. We've engaged a wide range of participants throughout many ages and life stages. Wonder Minion continues to be a doorway into TBZ, with many new families coming each week to explore TBZ, but I think some of them are just coming from the mini muffins. If you haven't been, we have wonderful mini muffins at Shabbat Breakfast. Our Monday poetry potluck with Rabbi Suzanne Offit is thriving and makes space for creatives to also share their own work. And we are really excited as we begin programming already for next year. The fall programming guide, my baby, is already in process, and you will receive that with your high holiday mailing. And I'm so grateful to our lay leaders and our teachers and our newly formed Education and Programming Committee, which Felicia talked about, for helping to focus our abundant programming to really ensure that it meets the spiritual and learning needs of our thriving community. So with that, I'll pass. Thanks.
So most of you know my year starting in July was broken into 2 distinct parts at TBZ. So from July through October, as I started out in this role, I spent some time getting settled and started my work with meeting with conversion candidates and doing new member outreach. So as of now, I've reached out to every new member, I think, who's joined TBZ in the last year and a half, having email contact and also some in-person meetings. And during that time, Rav Claudia was on sabbatical, so I was also covering for Rav Claudia, leading Shabbat services and supporting with pastoral care and preparing for the high holidays, which of course, I was here for all of them.
You know when she decided baby started to decide that he wanted to come out? On Simchat Torah. No, we had plan Bs for every part of the high holidays. She made it through Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So baby Noor came on exactly on time.
I made a promise and I kept it. But since coming back from parental leave in February, I've been diving much more into my role with community engagement, and so that means taking on leadership with the membership committee and the Tikkun Olam steering committee and working with Chesed to build better connections in the community at TBZ. So I've continued meeting with new members. I've also continued meeting with seasoned members of all different experience and histories at TBZ to find out about their interests and their connections and their desires for new connections and for leadership. In collaboration with our amazing rabbis and staff at TBZ. We've had successful community dinners this year. We had amazing mishloach manot making and delivery. We've had Pesach and Rosh Hashanah meal matching, so I've been involved in all of those initiatives. And I continue to support the affinity groups that already exist at TBZ, and there are more that are popping up and that are in the works, and so I'm excited to help build those circles and points of connection for people to continue to meet and share their interests and their life stages with each other in the TBZ community. So that is also a plug that if we haven't met and talked about something that you want to see start at TBZ, I am open, and there is time to start these new affinity groups and circles. I'm so excited to share more about those as they emerge.
Thank you so much. One thing that I want to say is we sent, Rav Leah put together an incredible survey for Chesed, and we got over 88 responses.
Noam.
Not as good as Noam Krakower, who got
167, I think.
Okay.
So
but very
we're
good.
sending it out one more time this week. So
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have not responded to the Chesed survey, please do so. It really was a way to get more information of people, interest and time and possibility to volunteer with Chesed. And the Chesed, we are meeting with the church this week to really figure out how the follow-up of that survey. So it's been amazing.
And you're not making a commitment by filling out the survey. It's just expressing your interests.
Thank you, everybody. So awesome, wonderful. The first thing that I get to do is, Rav Claudia, gratitude. No, you take one. Everybody gets one. You get one. So I have just a few moments. Luckily, we're running out of time because I wouldn't have enough time to say all the thank yous that I have for people who deserve to be recognized. First of all, it's wonderful to look around the room and see so many longtime members, so many people who have done so much over the years. It's really wonderful to see so many newer faces, people who are joining our community, making our community so vibrant, bringing their own talents, their own energies, their own creativity. And this is the only way that we're going to continue to be the strong institution that we are. We have the blessing of such a great professional staff here. It's really quite a blessing. And they could never do it without the lay leadership, and all of you are and can be part of lay leadership. One of the great things about highlighting the committees is just to recognize everybody can play a role. And if everybody gives a little bit, the institution continues to move forward. It's really important that we have people who are moving from the pews to a committee to the board to I'm not calling you out to the seats, to a committee, to the board, to a treasurer, to a vice president, to a president. It could be all of you, and we need that because we have term limits for a reason. We need to turn over leadership, but we can't turn it over unless we got people coming up. So I want to encourage everybody to look around you, enjoy the vibe, but also enjoy the leadership that we have and take that as an example for people to step up. And I have I couldn't say enough to the people who are leaving the board after great service to TBZ. So let me say thank you to, who's going first? To David Nyman, who really has stepped up and been treasurer for a number of years, will continue to serve on the finance committee, and we really appreciate all of your commitment. Thank you. To Susan Bookbinder, who really has lived Tikkun Olam and brought Tikkun Olam and led Tikkun Olam. So thank you so much for everything you do, and you're fun to hang out with at a rally. And what's that? Oh, and she steals things too. We were leaving a board meeting at one point, and I pack up and I can't find my phone, and she had my phone. And to Carol Kamen, who is really such a model of service and such a model of grace and such a model of everything she's brought to TBZ as a president, as an IP, which is the immediate past president. IP. IPP, immediate past president. And thank you so much for all the leadership that you've brought to TBZ. Now, I will move on to somebody who deserves, I wouldn't have enough words to say how wonderful it's been to be co-president with you, Jen Klein. You've led, you stepped up to be co-president with Carol. You invited me on, and it's been such a joy and an important part of my life to be able to serve with you. You lead with strength, courage, calm, grace, patience, total fun. It's fun to hang. So thank you for everything you've done. You've made an indelible mark on the community, and I've appreciated the partnership, and I'm reminded, not that I had forgotten, but I'm reminded that she's still on the board. And now you are the IP. So thank you, everybody, for your service. I think we're now going to formally release Jen from her position as co-president, because we're going to have elections right now. And I'm going to give it over to Carol and Sarah. Okay, so I don't know if do you need a? Yeah, they need a, why are you looking at me like that? Okay, you didn't know. Run the election.
We're going to do it. Okay. I can do this. Give out the ballots.
Okay, we need the slate. Okay. All right, you.
I will ballot it.
This is my fault.
Until this afternoon, I wasn't going to be able to come to the meeting, so this is, I was not prepared. There was an email, Blake, Carol, and, no, but I didn't know. Okay.
Can in my phone the reminder that came on Sunday.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, in case you've never, who here has never participated in a community meeting and had a vote? Great, okay. So what we do here is we elect a slate, an entire slate, all at once, because these people have been nominated by the Governance and Nominating Committee and approved by the, presented to the board. And they have been tested and gone through all sorts of hoops to be sure that they are going to be, thank you. Good. There we go. That they are ready to serve, ready, willing, and able to serve, and very excited to serve. So what we're going to be doing with our election is, first I want to tell you who we don't need to vote for tonight, who is continuing on the board without being needing to be elected tonight. So Larry Krause is continuing to serve as president and does not need, he's midterm and he's not up for election this year. Steve Lewis is midterm and not up for election this year, but continuing. Samuel Mendoza de Freiman is continuing on the board, not up for election. Rini Rudnick, the same. Felicia Kaiser, and Jen Klein does not get elected as the IP, but that is her new position. So the people who are
have been serving on the board and are now up for election for a new term are Jordan Moranis, who is not here. He will be up for, this is a new thing, we now can have a third term, a third 2-year term. It used to be 2 2-year terms, and now you're eligible for 3 2-year terms. Jordan Moranis will be on the slate for his third term. Mark Barnett on the slate for his third term. Len Fishman for his second term. None of them are here tonight. Rachie Lewis for her second term. I can't believe you've been there that long. Rebecca Bluewolf for her third term. And drum roll, please. Rachel Goodman is being elected to her first term as vice president. So vice president is a new position in the new iteration of the bylaws. So now in practice, what we want to have is one person in the position as president and one person as the vice president, and then the rest board members who have portfolios, chair of different standing committees, and a couple at large. So this is the first, Rachel, you're breaking ground as the first vice president. And we're so excited, and I know Larry and you're going to have just as much fun as Larry and Jen. And then we're really, really excited to welcome 2 brand new board members, Emma Zbarsky and Jesse Stick-Gold-Sarah. We love having this new energy coming onto the board. I'm not going to give too much information about them. You read them on the slate, and it's late. So, but we're just very excited. This new board is going to contribute so much to the wonderful management of our shul. And as Larry has said, it's out there for you too. So think about how you want to contribute and work your way into TBZ leadership. It doesn't really get much more fun than that. It really doesn't. So what we're going to do now is you all have heard the slate. You've all gotten a piece of paper that says, yes, I vote for the proposed slate. No, I do not vote for the proposed slate, or I abstain from the vote. So everyone needs to, yes, do the pencils, okay. Okay, so if you have a ballot, if you are a member, you cannot vote if you are not actually a member in good standing in the community. And you can fold up your paper if you want. You don't need to put your name on it. It's all anonymous. And Carol will go around and collect them. Any questions? Wonderful. Do 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 ba da 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 da.
In her first official act as not being president, she handed me the mic and said, let's end this thing. So thank you for coming for the annual meeting. We'll have results coming in, you know, the results are still coming in. The results are still coming in. Let's hope for a better, okay, I'm not gonna say that. So the way we build this was come for the news, stay for the schmooze. We have hors d'oeuvres, we have wine, we have soft drinks. It rhymes, we have wine. Yeah. Then, and all of the people in leadership are here for your questions. So why don't we do the questions over snacks and wine? Thank you for coming to the community meeting. Do we have a tally? We have all yeses and 1 abstention, as in days of yore. That has been the pattern forever.
There is food and lechaim outside. Take some food, lechaim outside.